Hi, everyone. Name's Francis Kaiser. I work for Everi. We have acquired two promotional products. I'm sure you guys are aware of this, Atrient and MGT. We acquired their assets in 2019, took over that business, and then we started building a new platform that we call Trilogy. I know we're starting a little late, and so I want to apologize for that. We are going to try to speed it up a little bit to try to keep you guys on time. So I'm going to go over just some highlights of Trilogy. I want to make you aware that if you have more, you need more details or you want to learn more, typically a high-level overview of Trilogy typically takes about an hour. And if we go into our mobile product lines, that's typically another 60 to 90 minutes, actually. So this will be just very high level. Any questions, I'll try to pepper them in, and I'll try to answer them as we go because we are short on time. So the first thing I'm going to go over is just our new studio technology. The two companies we acquired, they used Flash assets to build all of their promo games and interfaces. When we acquired those companies, we started our new pathway. We decided to go down the path of Cocos 2D. We actually use the same technologies as our digital studio. So our digital studio does all of our online gaming in the interactive realm. We took all those same tool sets and started building our own engine to provide more kind of elevated, more graphical graphical games, to create new game types. We really wanted to focus on what we've been asked for like the last 5 years for both those companies, the types of games and types of interactions that our customers that would drive new traffic and get more engagement from our players. I wanted to show some videos. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do that. But what I will show you is just some images to kind of show you what that graphical fidelity kind of looks like. Imagine here keys flying in almost as imagine like Tinkerbell flying, but they're keys, and they would unlock chests and coins and would spill out with messages on the screen. So it's quite nice if you get to see it. If you ever would like a real demo, or you come to see our content at NIGA or the upcoming G2E shows, we will have live demos there. And if you schedule a live demo with one of our demo sales reps, they'll of course be able to go through the content for you. We have a catalog currently of about 300 games. We're looking at all of the game content we create from now on, whether it be kind of fantasy inspired, sport inspired, fantasy sports. That will all now be available on our kiosks as well as our mobile phones. So you can get our promotions two different ways. If you would like to go the mobile route, that is by purchasing a mobile application from us. We build a complete resort application, restaurants, hotel, key card, etc. We have loyalty pieces feathered in. So any of the promotional types we do, of the 12 main prize types, comp bonuses, account screens, etc., that can all be built into the application directly, pulling information from your player tracking system. Or if you have a third-party provider, someone like, for an example, like a Joingo, or you have an internal app development studio, we do have APIs so that you can pull that information from the CMS directly in our loyalty system directly to the application or a web page. And we can also embed a render engine into that application or on a web page that allows your customers to play those promos and interact with them off property. Why would you want to do that? You can allow people to interact and see what they're going to win, but then only allow them to claim at the property. So that gives you a way to engage the patrons when they're actually at home or away from the casino, and then gives them a driver to come back to the casino to claim those rewards. So it's some pretty cool stuff we're doing there in the mobile space, and that's because of that Cocos engine we're using that allows us to put it on our kiosks as well as on web and mobile. So now I want to go over a couple new UI features and flows. These are all things we're doing to make our operators able to set up promotions, set up drawings, configure kiosks, choose content, build out your promos easier. So that was one of our big tasks. One of our huge goals for Trilogy was to make this all easier for you. So the two modules for Trilogy control panel that released already are Kiosk Manager. That allows you to manage your whole fleet, isolate issues for what's going on for one machine, how do you want that machine to work? Do you want that machine to only show restaurant menus? Do you want that machine to only show promotions? Do you want that machine to only be used for point redemptions, for free play, or for some other type of comp? Or do you want to do all those features and more? So you actually have that control, and we're trying to make it easier for you to see your whole floor and dial in which machines should be doing what. We're also working on some early level analytics where we see what those machines are being used more for, and kind of advising you, giving advice of, hey, this is what this kiosk may be better for. This is what this kiosk may be better positioned to do. The other big module that released was the content manager. That allows you to look at all the content being pushed to those different kiosks. So as I mentioned, you want this one to only do X, you want this one to only do Y, you want this one to only do Z. That's all. You can push that content and actually customize a lot of that content all from that editor. You can change text, screen sizes, colors. A lot of functionality exists within that content manager. I believe, yeah. Let me give you a quick peek. I'll go over new price flexibility really soon. Just wanted to give you an idea of what those look like. Again, wasn't able to show videos, but this would be that content management screen where you're looking at the promotions that are actually available to the customer, which ones are live, what functionalities they do. So this would be kind of the new look and feel, the new navigation menu on the left. You'll see you can kind of dial into exactly what you're looking to do. Each one of those is actually permission controlled as well. So depending on what the patrons, depending on what your operator level of knowledge and level of responsibility is, that nav bar changes. In this instance, they were looking at a customer on their screen, so we were actually really focused on that as well, how to make it easier to see the customer in front of you if there is a customer that comes to a cage or a desk and starts asking questions about why do I not see this promotion? How far away am I? Bringing up all that customer information right in front of you, with just swiping their player card or typing in their name, birthday, etc. Different ways to search for them. Bringing all that information up as quick as possible so that you can identify who they are, their tier level, and what promotions are active for them, which ones aren't, how far away they are from activating. Also be able to sign them into drawings, swipe for them, choose things for them if they need help with it. So it's really a troubleshooting tool as well that we've been working on. And that last piece, the last bullet, was a new prize type. So we have a new prize choice prize type. And I apologize, there's a misspelling right there. I just finished this slide before this presentation started. So this new prize type actually saves typically between 5 and 11 hours for setup of the more complicated promotions. Depending on how complex promotions you run and the prizes you run, a lot of times what we'll see at casinos are they want to offer the flexibility to offer a customer, say, let's say you gave them $20 in rewards. Maybe you want to get that as match play. Maybe you want to get that as free play. Maybe you want to get that as a comp. Maybe you want to get that as a food offer. So we've combined that. We had some before called sub prizes where you could nest these. And nesting prizes is actually something the MGT system did as well. We kind of combined all those different types of thinking and made it a single process. So you can set up these very complex promotions where you're offering not only those different prize types, but once they choose, let's say they chose $20 in free play, then that breaks down to how do you want that $20 in free play distributed? And they can actually choose different amounts within that, different ways it could get different ways that prize gets broken out. So I hope you get to see a demo soon. Please sign up to see one because it's actually pretty cool how it works. And we're seeing that the few operators we've released it to so far, it saves them a ton of time. I say that 5 to 11 hours to be safe. In some instances, kind of imagine someone was setting up 100 promotions, and now they can do that all within about an hour period using this new prize choice prize type. So pretty cool stuff there. Now I'm going to go into just some new modules real quickly. All in all, I believe we have 6 modules that have been released, and we have about 30 in the pipeline. So again, can't touch on them all. Some of the other cool stuff we're doing are actually our integrations in what we call our digital neighborhood. Won't have time to go over those. But those would be things like using our Everi Jackpot Express products. When someone wants a jackpot, if they're not a carded player, you could enroll them. Doing things with the Tournament Now team, which will allow you to sign up for tournaments, use points to sign up for tournaments, schedule your tournaments, see leaderboards. So a lot of really cool stuff going on there. But again, this is really an abridged presentation, so I can't get into everything. One of the ones I want to go into, and the reason I want to do this is definitely a more utilitarian one, but it helps a lot of customers. This was really started being pushed during COVID. We were trying to make things as touchless as possible between patrons and the operator, but it's also just a better user flow. So how comps would work, let's say for food, in most circumstances, are a player would walk into a kiosk, they'd select the offer, they'd redeem it, they'd get some type of coupon printed, a thermal or Tito. They would go to a restaurant outlet, they would have that scanned by someone at that POS terminal, and then they would put that into their drawer, that piece of paper, and later on there's this paper audit, this manual process that has to happen in order to get that comp off the player tracking system and accounted for properly. So we really focused on making that much simpler. And so you see the flow above that I had just shown you. We removed 3 steps of it. And how did we do that? We created a more robust firmware between in our loyalty system that integrates between the player tracking systems and the point of sale systems. We support many point of sale systems, such as the larger ones like Agilysys and Micros. But I believe in total there's 7 POS systems we do support, and we're always supporting more. The current one we're looking at is Squirrel, integrating with Squirrel. So how does that work now? Customer walks in, they see their offer. If they select, okay, I want to throw $20 in comp, and they can do that either on the kiosk or on their phone. Now they go straight to the outlet. They scan or swipe their player card. A box pops up on the point of sale. The person at the register presses that box. It then removes that cost from their purchase, and then it also deducts it from the player tracking system, so that all that audit trail is now automated, and there's no paper anymore involved. Much smoother, much cooler process. Customers and operators both love it, so that's always a win for us. So that was one of our new modules that was released. That's actually backwards compatible with our legacy MGT and Atrient systems as well. One of the new modules that I like to talk up is our security suite. So if you know Everi, they really focus and believe in securing PCI and PII data across the board, not just for our payments products. And they invested a good amount of money and time working with a company on a bespoke version of IoT and a security layer that goes over that. It has been tested by Bulletproof Labs. The comment they gave us in our final report was they were unable to find any feasible way to be able to get by and get into our systems. We were pretty proud of it. A lot of other companies have now reached out to us on getting insight to how we did that. We rolled that out and built it as part of core of Trilogy. Why would you do that? People think promotions, and what's the big deal? Well, there's a lot of pieces of promotion where there is PII data involved. In our opinion, I should say in my opinion, not the company's, I actually believe in a lot of circumstances PII data is more important than PCI data because you can do a lot more with it. Credit card gets compromised, you cancel the credit card, get a new one. In this case, we're trying to protect that data, and we're adding new features that are built directly into Security Suite. So we push our OS updates, we push firmware updates, things on our kiosk where we use Veridocs, we push Veridocs and document authentication updates for our facial. Everything gets pushed through this VSS, and we use it as a really core component to monitor our systems. And I see I'm up on time now. I will just slowly talk about. I'll talk about Quick Draw, and we'll end it there. So Quick Draw is our new take on drawings. Both the MGT and Atrient products had drawing systems. We really looked at what had been asked for the last 4 years in both those systems, and took those kind of the major asks and started building them into what we call Quick Draw. So that's completely decoupled from our promo systems. In the past, drawings and promos were just tightly wound, and so if you wanted to do one thing, you had to do it in both systems. that also caused complications when it came to audits. Just made a process really more complicated. So we've taken it and made it its own product line where it stands on its own. It's still integrated into our promotional system. You can still run promotions where they win drawings or can sign into drawings, but it's a standalone system that can be sold on its own and stand on its own. As you can see, again, out of time, but a lot of cool drawing complications, how we do enrollment, how we do demographics, how we break out prize types, and then the ability to reuse drawings. That was a very popular feature of our promos for the Atrium product. And a lot of customers want us to do it for their drawing. So if you had a drawing that you liked and it's already set up, you can just actually do a rerun of it right away or schedule it later in the future. Again, I'm sorry about this abridged presentation. It's starting a little late today, but I want to thank you guys for your time. And I didn't see any questions pop up, but always feel free to reach out to us and we'll provide you more in-depth demos and give you as much information as you need.